Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the City of Richmond 2020 Virtual National Night Out. We just want to thank you for joining us in the celebration of communities. It's a celebration of Richmond. Doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it the Jewel by the Bay. You can call it the Rich. You can call it Richtown. You can call it your neighborhood. We're here to celebrate Richmond and public safety partnerships. So we really appreciate you all being here. Because of the pandemic, obviously, we have to celebrate in a different way. And we're going to do that tonight. Tonight is a night all about residents. It's all about neighbors. It's all about getting to know one another. And we just really thank you for being a part of it and joining us online on your Saturday evening and spending with us. So with that said, we have quite a few guests that are with us today. So if my guests could be kind enough to start their video, leave your audio muted, but start your video so we can see who's joining us today, that would be awesome. And so you out there in YouTube land, you out there who are watching this live via Zoom, and you out there who are watching after the fact, we have a bunch of our different neighborhood groups that are joining us today. We have our fire chief, our police chief, some members of our command staff that are going to be welcoming us. We have some wonderful entertainment that's going to happen tonight. It's going to be a wonderful evening and a great celebration. So to get started, I'm your host for tonight. I'm Michelle Milam. I have to first of all talk about the hats. So our Crime Prevention Executive Board brought these lovely hats to be able to celebrate because we're all in pandemic and everybody's really, let's be honest with you, a little bit bummed out about being in pandemic for over 6 months. And we wanted to make it a little bit more festive. But obviously, this hat does not fit on my hair. But I did want to show you that we had it. And so I have coordinated with some lipstick instead. So if you see them with hats, those are our lovely board members who are going to introduce themselves in a moment. And with that, we have a greeting that we want to have presented from our police chief, Chief French, who is a newly appointed police chief to the city of Richmond. So I'm going to ask Chief to turn her camera on, and we're going to bring Chief up and then any members of the command staff who are here to give a greeting. So take it away, Chief.
All right, well, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a different national night out for us, but I want to thank you all for joining. So now, as you all know, things are a little bit different this year than in years past. But even though we can't join together physically, I am grateful that we as a community can join together virtually, and that we've learned enough of these virtual platforms to do this. But I think it's important to connect and to problem solve and to really keep each other safe. The only way that we could keep each other safe is physically distancing from each other and joining in these virtual platforms. So this year has been difficult, to say the least. We started with the fiscal challenges of the city, which resulted in a 10% budget decrease for the police department, and staffing decreases also. Then we were faced with this nationwide pandemic, and well, we knew about it in January, but pretty much March kind of shut us down. And we were forced to do things differently. So as a department, we were trying to figure out how do we continue to provide the best service for our community while keeping our officers safe and keeping the community safe. And we've navigated through those issues, and things are going pretty good. And then we were faced with the tragic George Floyd event, which resulted in a nationwide protest and defund the police movement. And then we had the death of our beloved Sergeant Virgil Thomas, which was due to COVID, and it was a devastating loss for our entire community. We've also had serious crime issues across the city this summer. So with all that, that's to say we've had a very difficult year. But despite that, we've continued to do a great job across the city in really connecting with each other. Our officers are continuing to go out there and provide the best service that they can to our community. We've continued to join virtually so that we can keep connected because we don't want anybody to feel like they're in isolation. We are all in this together. We've kind of changed the definition of drive-by. So drive-bys used to be a negative term. Now we use drive-bys as birthday celebrations, and that's another way that we're able to connect and stay connected to each other. And at the police department, we continue to focus on service despite having the reductions in staffing and budgets that we have. So I want to just take a moment to thank everybody who has made all of these connections, everybody that's made these connections or have kept these connections going, I should say. So specifically, I want to thank the Crime Prevention Board, who, again, providing hats for the festive occasions and really learning how to connect virtually to do these platform meetings where we're really, providing information on a monthly basis to the community on different topics. And that's all through the Crime Prevention Board, who wants to make sure that we continue to connect with the community. All the volunteers that continue to figure out what we need. We get lots of donations at the police department for food and different things, masks when the pandemic started. So there's lots of volunteers still willing to connect, serve food over at PAL. There's just a lot of people that are still willing to do things throughout the pandemic that help keep us together. KCRT is a big one because KCRT has really just blown up through this pandemic. They're the ones that are behind all of these meetings, these virtual meetings where we're able to, bring people on and have some interactions with the community through question and answer. And KCRT has just been great, putting the videos up on the channel so that, if you're not able to join live, that you can continue to watch it on KCRT TV. Mandy and Michelle, because none of this is possible without them. They're the brains and they're the ones that keep everything moving behind the scenes at the police department. So, and then all of our sworn and professional staff at the police department that despite, the challenging times that we're in, everybody wants to continue to provide the service that Richmond needs and deserves. So I want to thank everybody for that. And with that, I want to turn it over, I believe, back to Michelle or to the fire chief. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that there's a couple of people online who want to give a quick shout out. So I'm going to check in the participant list. I'm going to let Captain White lead this section. Quick shout out.
Hi, my name is Al White. I'm the patrol captain for the Richmond Police Department. And on behalf of all the officers in the Patrol Bureau and Special Investigations Bureau, I want to thank you for your continued support. We actually have a couple officers that logged on today to also say thank you. And I appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Thank you. Do we have, I think we have Officer Santana. Do you want to say a quick shout out? We're bringing back shout outs for those of you who didn't grow up in the 90s.
Hi, I'm Officer Carmen Santana of Richmond Police Department. Many of you may know me from working at Beat 7 and the Southern District. So Mr. and Mrs. Perez, hi. Glad to see you guys.
Thank you. And I think we have LT, Lieutenant Guard is on the line too.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, we're not doing this like we normally do with our party at Target and then our driving around eating good food and having fellowship together. I definitely miss everybody. Appreciative of all the commitments that you all continuously give us on crime prevention and community engagement, especially in the Southern District where I'm the manager. And I look forward to hopefully next year when we get to do this live like normal and break bread and share some laughs in person.
Sounds good. Did I get everybody or did I miss anyone? Okay.
Tim's on here too, Captain Simmons.
Oh, Captain Simmons.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome from my home to your home. I echo what Lieutenant Guard said. Definitely miss the good food and the music and actually seeing everyone face to face and socializing. On behalf of the Investigations Bureau, where we are happy to connect with you and serve the wonderful Richmond community. So if there's anything you guys need, reach out. And it's good to see the few faces I can see on my computer screen here. I see Al and Carla and Michelle and a few others. So welcome, and glad you guys are here and able to join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so now with that, we couldn't really work together as public safety if we did not have the partnership we have with fire. So we have Chief Shepard who's going to join us as well to give greetings to everyone.
Yes. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to virtually come into your homes and continue to be in your lives with this National Night Out. This is certainly unprecedented times for us, but also I think we need to recognize that in unprecedented times, we look for ways to overcome and that enduring spirit to connect. We certainly have done that through these virtual platforms. So thank you, Michelle, for facilitating this today. I want to talk to you a little bit, given the time. I just want to bring you up to date on a couple of things. Obviously, there are a lot of complex fires burning throughout the state of California right now. I can tell you that the Richmond Fire Department is deployed throughout California, helping in the fire suppression efforts, and they've done so for the past month. And I really want to appreciate and express my appreciation for what it is that they're doing right now during this deployment. Obviously, COVID has changed the way we live, how we interact, how we eat, how we travel, you name it, it has changed our lives. And there's nothing different about, or nothing separate about the fire department. It's changed our job as well, but we continue to reflect to our situation to make sure that we continue to provide you the level of service necessary to keep you safe and sound in your communities. And so I just want to say that the professional women and men of the fire department continue to revise our response to make more than certain that we meet your needs. We're very happy to do that. We know that we just have a fantastic community and we want to serve. Some of the new things that we do have going on in our fire department is that we've brought on our new equipment. And so several years back, we made our purchases. And as you know, in government, it usually takes about a few years in order for things to arrive. And so now they're finally arriving, but we've got new SCBAs, new face masks, we've got brand new hose. And on top of that, we've got new fire engines and we've got new fire trucks. So our members are training on these new pieces of equipment. The fire engines actually, as soon as they were brought on board, we deployed one down to Southern California to fight the fires. Just this past week, our members were training on the new truck. It's a different type of truck than what you've normally seen in the city of Richmond. So I think that when you're out and about, you'll take notice that we'll have what's called a tractor drawn aerial, where the person actually sits in the back of the truck and steers the rear end of it. That's necessary for some of the more difficult areas for us to get into inside, like the Point or something like that. So throughout Richmond, it's a more agile piece of equipment. And again, we're bringing equipment like this on so we can better serve you. I too want to thank all the members of my fire department. It's been very difficult for us, and I have an awesome command staff who has contributed in so many different ways to make sure that we did reflect to our situation. We stood up our EOC, our emergency manager, as many of you are aware, is just outstanding. She didn't skip a beat, stood us up. And I guess I would be remiss without saying, under the great leadership of our brand new city manager at the time, who didn't skip a beat, came right in and stood up that EOC. And we've been staffing it ever since. So really just a dynamic group of people. I'm so proud of them, but I'm also proud of our Richmond community. Thank you so very much for being supportive of us. As the chief indicated, it's difficult budget times. All of us have been asked to go back and see where we can make our departments leaner. If you know, both police, fire, and all our agencies, we already run on a very lean budget as is. So it's very difficult, but we're trying to work our way through it. And we want to ensure that we continue to receive your support as we try to make it through these difficult budget times. Also, like Tim was saying, it's hard to see everyone on here, but I see a lot of familiar faces. And Julie, I see you there with the hat on. Thank you so very much for what it is you've been doing with our holiday toy program. You've just been so consistent, stalwart, if you will, in making sure that we have all our finances in place. So very pleased with that. Very pleased with all the people in our community, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows that the services that we were providing, we're going to try to continue to provide those, to include our holiday toy program. So with that, Michelle, I'll turn it back over to you unless anyone has questions of me.
Thank you so much, Chief. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everybody who's just joined us. If you've joined us, we are doing our National Night Out virtually this year. So tonight, We've had a hard year. Tonight is a night to celebrate. So I hope that you will all celebrate with us. Feel free if you guys dressed up or if you have food that you want to have with us or you want to have dinner with us. This is a time for you to be able to do that. And with that, I would like to introduce some really important folks. And these are the community members from our Crime Prevention Executive Board, which is a group of volunteers who work on our crime prevention programs with us. And so I'm going to have Al Perez come on. He is our board president, and he is going to do an introduction of the board members. So at this time, board members, you may unmute yourself, and I will turn it over to President Al Perez.
We'd like to thank you, the community, for coming together to celebrate National Night Out 2020. Thank you to Chief French and Fire Chief Shepard, as well as the Richmond Police and Fire Department. We have a special thanks to Michelle and Mandy for all the work they do. And thank you, Rich, with KCRT. I'd like to thank the Crime Prevention Executive Board, which includes Mary Roberts, Myrtle Braxton, Naomi Williams, Cindy Hayden, Julie Wong, Vinay Pimple, and Carla Perez. And I'll turn this back over to Michelle.
Thank you. And thank you to all of our board members. They work so hard. We really could not do what we do without them. And we actually are going to turn it over, I believe at this point in time, to one of the founding members of crime prevention, which is Miss Myrtle Braxton, to talk a little bit about the history of National Night Out. And this is very special. So we're going to turn it over to Miss Braxton, and we'll hear a little bit from her more later on in the evening as well. So Miss Braxton, it's up to you.
Okay, thank you. The Richmond Crime Prevention Program was authorized by the City Council in 1983. The first National Night Out was celebrated in Richmond in 1985. The kickoff and end parties were held at the Nevin Community Center. The first National Night Out was not a caravan to various National Night Out parties. The first National Night Out was celebrated in city parks and other locations with high crime rates or high crime areas. These parks had no lighting. So the city installed large lights run by generators in these parks. Residents were invited to come out to the party in the park for refreshments that we furnished and for giveaways. And a lot of residents did come out. The police visited these parties and interacted with the residents. A good time was had by all, especially the children who had never seen lights in these parks or had a friendly visit from the police. Thank you. This was our first celebration and it was a great one. Very well attended, covered by the press, and we had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Braxton. And I just feel like if everybody, I don't know, in the chat can give like a little heart, you have an opportunity to give emoji. Give an emoji to Miss Braxton and a standing O, because really with her and a lot of the other members, we would not have a crime prevention program. So we just want to thank you for that and sharing the history. Now we're going to move over into the pandemic. So Carla Perez, who is the National Night Out chairperson, is going to talk a little bit about what we can do to stay protected. Take it away, Carla.
Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you again for joining in the National Night Out 2020. Let me tell you, I would have never thought in a million years that we would ever think of celebrating National Night Out via Zoom. COVID has impacted our lives. The United States has lost over 200,000 people due to the pandemic. And as of Monday, September 28th, Richmond has had over 3,200 positive cases and 27 deaths. 27 deaths too many. It is extremely important for our community to do our part to social distance and wear a mask to protect not only ourselves, but those we care about. Remember, free testing is available to all. Contra Costa Health Services has a community testing hub at the Richmond Civic Center Plaza for residents who are looking for fast COVID testing. The testing site is in the parking lot at the corner of, at the entrance of the corner of 25th and Nevin, accepts appointments and walk-in patients. In September, again, the Contra Costa Health Services added a drive-through service, allowing the location to test as many as 400 people a day. Get tested by calling 1-844-421-0804 to make an appointment if needed. Let's do our part to keep Richmond safe, and thank you for joining us. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, Carla. And thank you, Mandy, also for dropping that in the chat. It's just really important for everybody to get tested. As we can see, no matter what anybody's politics are, COVID doesn't really care. It's something that affects us all. So please check it out. And you can always sign up for alerts with the city if you want to know more about what's happening, what's open, and how you can get information. So we're going to go to our last segment of the board, and then we're going to go to our neighborhood shout outs and our entertainment. And that's going back to Ms. Braxton again to talk about the importance of civic participation. So Ms. Braxton, it's on you again.
Thank you again. This time I'm going to be talking about voting, which is so important. This general election on November 3rd is the most important election of your life. Voting by mail is safe and easy. Remember these 4 steps. Number 1, seal your ballot inside the envelope from your county elections office. Number 2, sign the envelope. Make sure the signature on the ballot envelope matches the one on your California driver's license or your California ID or the one you provided when registering. Your county elections office will compare them to protect your vote. Number 3, return your ballot by U.S. mail. Make sure your ballot is postmarked by November 3rd. No postage is needed. Number 4, you may also drop off your ballot in person in a secure 500-pound bolted down drop box located at the El Cerrito City Hall, the Richmond City Hall, the West County Wastewater District, which is located at 2010 Hilltop Drive, or the County Social Services Office at 1305 McDonald Avenue. All of the drop box locations will be available 24 hours a day, or you can drop off your ballot at a polling place or vote center or the county election office, but it has to be dropped off by 8 p.m. on November 3rd, 2020. Voters who can vote by mail will help ensure safe physical distancing at the voting locations. Voting locations will be available before Election Day. Voting locations will offer voter registration, replacement ballots, accessible voting machines, and language assistance. Please vote yes on Proposition 15. There's been so much negative, unfair publicity about this. Vote yes on Proposition 15 for funding for our cities, our police, our schools, our fire departments, and other essential needed services. Proposition 15 does not increase homeowners or small business property taxes. Vote as if your life depends on it, as it really does. Remember, please vote by November 3rd, 2020. Thank you.
Thank you for all that information, that important information about helping us and being able to help us participate in the civic process. We definitely need that. And thank you for all of that information, Ms. Braxton. Now we're gonna go to the segment of our program where we're just gonna give neighborhood shout outs. So some of you might be asking, what is a neighborhood shout out? So I'm gonna put on my shout out hat that doesn't quite fit on my hair. And I'm gonna let you guys know what a neighborhood shout out is. For those of you who are 90s babies and you grew up in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, we used to listen to, before we had all this other stuff, the radio. And on the radio, your favorite part of getting on the radio was calling up and dedicating a song to somebody or giving somebody you know a shout out. Well, now that we're in Zoom pandemic land, we still want to be able to shout out all the good work that's going on in the neighborhood, because tonight is a celebration of public safety partnerships, but it's also a real celebration of Richmond and Richmond's neighborhoods. So we've got our neighborhoods on deck, and they're going to give a shout out and a greeting. You got, like Chuck Woolery said, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, or 90 seconds. And so everybody's kind of prepared to do that. Our first set of shout outs are going to be a set of 4. And our first shout out is Margarita from the Marina Bay Neighborhood Council. So take it away, Margarita.
Okay. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Margarita Midas, and I'm the president of the Marina Bay Neighborhood Council. And I want to thank the National Night Out for inviting us here today. Our council is made up of local volunteers of the community, and we meet on the second Wednesday of every month. But unfortunately, due to this pandemic, we haven't been able to meet. And so we've had to get creative, like a lot of us, and think about ways of how to stay connected. And so I want to share with you a few of those ways that we have done so with our community and our members. So my first shout out goes to all those that participated in representing District 5 by supporting MBNC's hosted Meet the Candidates Night. We were able to introduce all 4 candidates. And this is the first district election held in Marina Bay and City of Richmond. So it's because of your participation, and we want to thank you for helping to make District 5 come alive. It was a great turnout. Another creative way we tried to connect with our community was to have our volunteers go to some of our local businesses and see how they were doing and coping during these trying times. So we started these conversations with our community, and we let them know ways that they can all lend support to these local vendors. So if you want to know about, who we talked to and what those updates were about, go check our website out, and also the next door. So all of this was posted. So a big shout out to all those local vendors in Marina Bay for riding out these tough times and keeping their doors open and making available their goods, services to the community during this pandemic. We all appreciate that. Final shout out goes to the census workers for their efforts in helping to get as many people counted as possible in our city. This is so important, in determining how much federal funding is going to come into our communities. So please, everyone, encourage your friends and neighbors to get counted. Thank you, and thank you again, National Night Out. That's it.
Thank you. That was an excellent first shout out. And, we can get some emojis in the chat for that, because she went first and she did a great job. Great job. So our next shout out is going to be from Jaquetta from Nevin Plaza. Jaquetta, are you online?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to the Richmond, California National Night Out 2020. A shout out from Nevin Plaza between 24th and 25th Streets on Nevin Avenue in Richmond. And I also want to have a shout out from Nadine, Princess, Carlotta, Diane, Carol, and Jacine, who work with our resident council neighborhood watch combined together. We meet on the second Thursday of the month from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. when there's no COVID going on. And so we haven't met recently, but we do keep in touch with each other, and we help each other out when we can. So again, thank you for the invitation to Richmond, California National Night Out 2020.
Another awesome shout out. If I was a radio show host on, one of the local radio shows, I would give you, a nice theme song for that. Awesome. So we're going to go out to our next one, and our next one is going to be from Christopher. And Christopher is actually representing a different group, which is the Richmond Public Library. So Christopher, take it away.
Hi there. Yes, I'm Christopher Larson. I am Richmond. Wanted to serve you as best can, even though we are sheltering in place. You'll see behind me all sorts of things that are programs that we have going on. To let you know, we are not open books. We now take, you can do books by phoning us, by calling, by texting us, by emailing us. We now have also a form online that you can fill out if you don't know what you want to read next, and we have librarians who will help you figure that out. A big exciting news is that we are going to be opening our branch libraries this coming Tuesday, October 6th, for tableside service at both branches. So Bayview and West Side will be open from 1 to 4:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the starting schedule, but we'll keep expanding things. We want to let you also know that we have new resources online for homework help that you can, some databases that the state library very generously provided to us that they're from ProQuest, very nice ones for K through 12 research and all sorts of help for that. You just need a Richmond library card to get into those. We've put up virtual bookshelves so you can look through what new books we have. We have e-magazines now. We're working on getting other e-resources out there for you because we know a lot of people are using those. We've also made an agreement with the school district that they will be able to borrow our e-books through their own system. We have printing where if you need to print a document, you can email it to us, we'll print it out, and then we can put, if it costs a certain amount, it's 10 cents per page, black and white pages, 40 cents for color, which is our typical price. We will put that on your account and you can pay from a distance, but we'll do it through our tableside service for remote pickup. We have lots of adult programs. We have a bring your own book on Friday afternoons to talk about books that you've read. We have a trivia night on Tuesday evenings, which is just for fun. We have a week full of children's programming at 10:30 a.m. every day. A weekday, we have programs. And the Richmond Grows Seed Lending Library has asked us to help make seeds available to you. So if you want some seeds to go and plant in your garden, then we have them for you. Thank you.
Great shout out and a lot of great information about ways that you can connect. I know a lot of you are parents and you've been at home with your kids, so this is a great opportunity to connect to something that's positive. So everybody can use the library. And our last shout out is actually going to be a video shout out, which is going to require me to put on my shout out hat once again. I'm going to turn over to Richard Lee, who's going to help us with that. And it's from the Santa Fe Neighborhood Council. So we're going to roll the video first.
I think I have a quick announcement first. It's Linda Whitmore, and I am the chair for the Santa Fe Neighborhood Council Community Outreach. And we are really happy to be here for the first virtual National Night Out. Santa Fe, we meet every fourth Thursday. We were meeting live. Now we're meeting on Zoom every fourth Thursday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And our executive board wanted to get a chance to give a personal shout out to all the neighbors here on Zoom. And so I'm going to have Richard now run that video. So take it away, Richard.
Hello, my name is Vernon Whitmore, president of the Santa Fe Neighborhood Council. Next, the executive board will present our 2020 review.
Hi, I'm Daryl Henline, Vice President of Santa Fe Neighborhood Council. We installed this signage in Santa Fe Union Park to acknowledge the sponsors of our renovation project.
Selena Hall, Secretary, Renovation and Upgrade of the Southside Community Park.
Suzanne Coffey, Treasurer, partnering with SOS to keep our neighborhood clean and homeless sheltered.
Hi, I'm Linda Whitmore. I am the outreach coordinator, and we're partnering with the neighborhood restaurants, Anaviv Open Market, and Bridge Store and Art Space Kitchen for meal distribution.
Santa Fe, we are a community moving in a positive direction.
That's our shout out for National Night Out from Santa Fe to all our neighbors in the city of Richmond.
Thank you, Santa Fe, for that wonderful shout out. And look at that. And they had audio and visual. So they get an extra point for extra participation.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. So now we finished our first set of shout outs, and we're going to do a little bit of entertainment because we have some very talented people here in Richmond, California. Matter of fact, do you know we have a premier songwriter here in Richmond, California. His name is Steve Seskin, and he lives in our city, and he writes phenomenal songs. So we're going to take it to Steve, who wrote this particular song and is sharing it for this occasion for us.
It's called Big Hearted. I took my son to breakfast the other day. Bacon and eggs and a stack of pancakes. Guy walked in, cup in his hand, looking pretty hungry. Reached in my pocket for a couple of bucks. My son said, "Dad, can he sit with us? He looks like he could use some company." I saw a seedy looking guy who I didn't trust. He might be dangerous. All my son was seeing was another human being. Good for him. Made me think, what if we were big-hearted? What if we showed up for each other, took that chance, showed a little love for one another, just because we can? Stop weighing and measuring everything. Stop wondering what's in it for me. Yeah, what if we were big-hearted? Big-hearted. What kind of world would this be? This friend, he's a Republican. Me, I'm as blue as the Pacific Ocean. Used to be, we could disagree and never end up arguing. It's hard for me to keep my cool when he writes me off like I'm a misinformed fool. I won't budge, he won't budge. Neither one of us is listening. There's gotta be a way to bridge this great divide, to hear the other side. Maybe in the middle we could get back to being civil. Maybe not, but it's worth a shot. What if we were big-hearted? What if we showed up for each other, took that chance, showed a little love for one another, just because we can? Stop weighing and measuring everything. Stop wondering what's in it for me. Yeah, what if we were big-hearted? What kind of world would this be? Now who am I to tell anybody to do a little more when I'm always coming up short? Still I have this thought. What if we were big-hearted? What if we showed up for each other, took that chance, showed a little love for one another, just because we can? Stop weighing and measuring everything. Stop wondering what's in it for me. What if we were big-hearted? What kind of world would this be? What kind of world would this be?
Wow, that was
Oh.
absolutely amazing, wasn't it?
Really?
And it really wasn't entertainment. That really was something that probably ministered to all of us. We're dealing with that. And Steve is an excellent songwriter. He teaches kids how to songwrite. We need to value all the people that we have in our midst, including Steve, for sharing that wonderful and beautiful song. And I think my eyes are leaking, and he's messed up my Pat McGrath mascara, but I don't care, because that's something that we all needed to hear. That was amazing.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. I agree.
And the next person who will go out for our shout out is going to be Annette from the Hilltop Green Neighborhood Council.
All right, thank you. And gosh, that's such a beautiful song. So I wanted to say that while I'm unmuted. Okay, I want to get started. Okay, my name is Annette. I'm a member of the Hilltop Green Neighborhood Watch Group. And I'll first say thank you to National Night Out for doing this year. Also wanted to start by shouting out Sarah Tideman and her daughter, who created a free little library on Greenway Drive, which is near the Hilltop Green Park. They did it as a nice gesture to do something kind for the community. You can bring a book, grab a book. There's little succulent plants and sidewalk chalk and free footballs, things just to be nice while we're all sheltering in place. Then I want to move on and shout out the Neighborhood Watch Group headed by Marva Diane Lyons. Marva Lyons is our president, and she will be sending out announcements on the Nextdoor app. So if you're not on Nextdoor, please get on it so that you can keep up with announcements for the Neighborhood Watch Group, which typically meets the third Thursday of each month at 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing our meetings on Zoom until further notice. And also she may be sending out an announcement soon about a possible Halloween Zoom party, because we need to have something fun while we're sheltering. The last thing we talk about at Neighborhood Watch, in addition to neighborhood updates, is the CERT training, which is headed by Robert Allred, I'm sorry. And he was interested in getting other people certified in case of emergency with fires or earthquakes. So that's what's going on in Hilltop Green. Get involved. It's a great place to live. And right now we're doing cleanup maintenance of our neighborhood. So it's a great place to live. Get on Nextdoor and keep up with what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great shout out and great ideas about preparing for Halloween. So that's awesome. Really appreciate it. And you guys are such great and hard workers. We really appreciate everything that you do for the city and for Hilltop. The next person up is going to be Darcy from May Valley Neighborhood. Darcy, take it away.
Hi, I'm Darcy Crosman, president of May Valley Neighborhood Council, and I wish we could be together in person like we have been at Cheese Park in the past. Thanks to everyone who has responded to our newsletter and voted. We're hoping to have a virtual meeting on California ballot initiatives with a representative of the League of Women Voters this month, Thursday, October 22nd at 7:15 p.m. So email us to participate on that call. Our council has a disaster preparedness subcommittee, and it's been meeting regularly during this time. And it's about preparing for a fire and evacuations. We've joined efforts with a wider community of residents of 94803 led by Sohaila Bana called El Sobrante Valley 94803. And she's been holding regular Zoom calls. That also has a Facebook page, so join us there and help stay informed, and I will send the link in the chat. I'd like to give a shout out to Hilltop Church of Christ, who partnered with us last year for National Night Out. If we were meeting in person in Cheese Park as we have in the past, they'd be our partners. Thanks to Dave Conrad and his band. We'll miss you this year and your music. We have quarterly meetings on the fourth Thursday of the month, 7:15 p.m. May Valley Rec Center across from Cheese Park on Morningside. We'll send out a newsletter with next year's meetings. We miss seeing everyone. We'd love to hear from you. Stay connected. I'll send our email through the chat, contact mvnc@gmail.com. Look forward to seeing everyone on the 22nd. Thanks everybody for doing the National Night Out.
Thank you so much, Darcy. That's awesome. And I think this is just such a reminder that how much we want to connect with each other through this pandemic, and how much the pandemic can't take away that connection, that we're able to still be together in this space and sharing. So thank you for your shout out. That was an awesome shout out. So now we're going to move on. I did have a representative from Crescent Park, but I don't think that they're here yet. So if you're here, if you could go into the chat and let Mandy know, we'll come back to you. So we're going to move on to Kenneth, who is coming to us from the Pullman Point Apartments. Kenneth, take it away for Pullman Point.
Greetings. I greet you from Pullman Point in Richmond, where Zelia is the property manager there. My name is Kenneth Bonner. I'm the resident service coordinator at Pullman. I just want to state I'm really missing the barbecue this week. I tell you, we had barbecue galore, and I'm missing all the officers and police department coming over and sharing in that. I run the school program, the after school program there for our kids at Pullman Point, and COVID has definitely changed that whole thing for us, where we're not able to meet or do anything as far as helping them with homework. So what we do basically each day around 3 o'clock, we have a feeding program where the kids can come get lunch. It's quite a bit that'll take care of for them for the whole day, part of the next day. But I serve 30 kids each day. And I tell you, I wanted to send a shout out to the parents, because I tell you, the parents are really struggling, and the kids are too, with this new Zoom thing, being able to making sure that the kids get on, and the kids prefer to ride bicycles than to get on. So we're trying to make sure that they are on Zoom at the proper time and doing their classwork. So that's, I want to give a shout out to them, making the adjustment. I also want to make sure I give a great shout out to the Richmond Police Officers Association, Benjamin, Walton, Michelle, and Mindy, and others I know. They donated to us money to be able to get each of our kids headphones. And they also have dry erase boards that they can do their math and the different sentences on. So it's been really a wonderful thing for that. We passed almost, probably about almost 100 of them that we were able to purchase between the Police Officers Association and the John Stewart Company, who also supported in that. So I just need to make sure I'm so grateful to you all supporting us. And I really do want to say, I really do appreciate the Richmond Police Department and the Fire Department, who comes over many times, do training. We just love y'all there. And I thank y'all for coming and sharing. And many of our residents get sick. Who's there? Here comes the Fire Department to take care of us. And we want to let you know, we really, really do appreciate all the support that you constantly give us each and every day. I was in my mind thinking about whenever we call, y'all answer. So we want to say we thank y'all for that. And I want to say for the last, we're planning to have a candy give out for Halloween on the 30th. That's a Friday. We usually make sure every kid, we do a little safe distancing. They have to come to the office and pick up their little candy bags. And so we're looking forward to doing that each year as we supported that. Can't do the trick-or-treating thing, so we're just making sure each one of our kids have that. So I just want to make sure I thank you, and we appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for having us on Pullman, and we just appreciate all that you do for us. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Ken. And we really appreciate you too. I think it gives us all joy. I think one of the best National Night Out in parties was the one that we did at Pullman, where people started to feel comfortable and safe coming out. And that's what we really want to support for the kids. So I really encourage everybody, when you see people like Ken, when you see community services coordinators are looking for volunteer help, help them out. There's always somebody who's in need. So I would just encourage people to, especially with the headphones and things that kids need to be able to learn, that's important. So thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
So now we're going to go to our second set of edutainment. I don't even want to call it entertainment because it's edutainment. And we have really talented, obviously residents among us with Steve and that beautiful song that he wrote. But we have another person who's really talented, and her name is Officer Andrea President, and she actually wrote a song for us for our COVID-19 public service announcement. She wasn't able to be here with us tonight, but we're going to play the service announcement because that's the original form where she did the song for us. And you can see for yourself how she was just willing to lend her talent and how important it is for us to all come together around COVID-19. So with that, Richard, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
We've got something to do. It involves me and you. It's very simple to do. It is easy as 1 and 2. We gotta 1, wash your hands. We gotta 2, wear masks. And 3, love each other equally. We gotta 1, wash your hands. We gotta 2, wear masks. And 3, love each other equally. At a distance. At a distance. At a distance, yeah. At a distance. We've got something to do. It involves me and you. It's very simple to do. It is easy as 1 and 2.
I wear a mask.
I wear my mask.
I wear a mask.
I wear a mask.
I wear my mask.
I wear a mask.
I wear a mask. I wear a mask for my community. For the small business owners.
For my family and friends.
For essential workers.
So one day we don't have to.
For the elderly.
For my community.
To protect our customers and our staff.
I wear my mask for essential workers.
I wear a mask so one day we don't have to.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Uso un cubrebocas por la comunidad. Juntos podemos vencer esto por Richmond.
Equally. At a distance. At a distance. At a distance.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song. And just a little story behind that. I'd asked her, to come up with something, and she came up with that within a day and wrote that within 20 minutes and said, I'd be happy to share it. So that's the kind of partnership that we need. And I want to thank KCRT and all the community that sent in their pictures. They all took pictures of themselves. You guys sent your pictures in for us to be able to do that PSA. And we couldn't really have done it without you for COVID-19 prevention, and also with KCRT and Richard and his team that, really worked on editing that and putting that together. So thank you. And we just have a lot of talent here and a lot of love in the Rich. So with that, we're going to go to our last set of shout outs. And he's not least. Our first person up is going to be AJ from the Building Woods Neighborhood Council.
I was wondering when my time was gonna come. All right, everybody. Come out from wherever you are. Come out your house and turn on your lights. Today is National Night Out 2020. Okay, wear that mask, wash your hands, sanitize. Hello, everyone. I'm AJ Jelani, Richmond's favorite son, president of the Building Woods Neighborhood Council. Our area is from McDonald in Richmond to San Pablo, from 13th Street and Runrail to 23rd Street. We are a group of people working together for the betterment of the community. We have teleconference every 2 weeks per month from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Building Woods Neighborhood Council, if you want any further information, you can contact the city of Richmond. And I'd like to talk to you about some of the things that we've done, since everybody else has kind of touched on that. I'm going to keep it to National Night Out, and I'll tie it back in. As you see here, we have talent shows for the youth. Christmas on the Streets, we give away thousands of presents every year for the past 25 years. Our board members. So it's enough people there. I can't remember all their names and go into it. I don't take credit for it. I try to give the credit to the community. And I think Richmond is the most beautiful city in the world. And you should think the same way, because if it's not, you ask yourself, why not? And if not, what are you doing? Okay, so it's the most beautiful city in the world. And to tell you a little bit about the type of people that are in our area, I won't go into it too much, but we practice called do for self. We don't do too much begging and asking the city for things and everything that we need and things. We try to look within ourselves and we work with what we have. For instance, the Christmas on the Streets event, it started with our neighbors cooking and cleaning the streets and working with the city with graffiti, and we put Christmas trees out in the middle of the street and blocked the streets off, and every one of my neighbors, I had 17 houses, and every one of my neighbors donated money to buy the kids presents. We don't ask nobody for nothing. And you be sure to vote. I don't want to make I don't want to make it long, but I'm just, and there's wonderful kids. Look up Richmond Got Talent Show 2010. Look up Christmas on the Streets. We thank the Oakland Raider organization. I know they're gone now, but they hung with us for 10 years. And some of the other great people. Michelle, you're so wonderful for this city. The police department has been right on time. The mayor, I mean, all you guys have been beautiful. And it's people like you that make this city what it is. And so we're about, I got a slogan. Here we go, guys. Substance orientated and action motivated. Amen. Now, if you want to know more, I have plenty more to talk about, but I'm going to shut up right now. I love you guys and have a wonderful National Night Out. And before I go, you need to know what National Night Out is about. It's for people that are scared and been locked in their house all these years and scared to come outside. So we're going to show solidarity with one another. We want you to come out, turn your porch light on, and just love one another and enjoy one another, okay? And be kind. I love that music. Like the guy said, if we just see about it and love one another, we'd be all right. Okay, guys? Love you all. Have a wonderful night.
That was awesome, AJ. AJ's always the light of the party, and he also is always encouraging everybody in the neighborhood to get together. I don't know anybody else who is as encouraging as AJ has been, and he's definitely been encouraging to me over the years. So I appreciate you, AJ, and appreciate Belding Woods.
Thank you so much. We love you guys.
Awesome. So our next shout out, who's up, is going to be Jan from the North and East Neighborhood Council. Take it away, Jan. It's your turn.
Hi, everybody. Happy National Night Out. We meet, the North and East Neighborhood Council meets on the fourth Wednesday of the month. The last time we met was in May, but we hopefully will meet in October and have a meeting that night. I have a couple shout outs for people who are doing things in the North and East. Pastor Dave at the Living Hope Neighborhood Church on 2800 Ream Avenue. On Wednesday and Friday, they have a grocery distribution at 12 noon in the parking lot at 28th and Lowell. They also are partnering with the County Food Bank to host fresh produce fresh produce on the first and third Saturdays of the month, same location at 10 a.m. One of our tireless volunteers in the city of Richmond is Rebecca Newbern, who has run our CERT program in the North and East, and she also is the founder of the Richmond Grows Seed Lending Library. And I want to give her a big shout out for all the work she's done trying to get people to learn how to plant their own vegetables and things so they can grow their own food. I also want to thank everybody in the neighborhood that has checked on their neighbors, been outside a little bit more, check to see how your neighbors are doing. If you don't see them for a while, knock on the door, see what's going on. We have a lot of people in the North and East that have been doing that just to keep up with everybody. And then I have some other people in the neighborhood who have done things like grow food, and then they've got overabundance for themselves, so they've passed it out to their neighbors. Sean Dunning, Holly Carter, Sylvia Van Orn, these are all people that I know personally and who have, offered figs and fruit, and tomatoes and all kinds of things. So I just like to shout out to all of them. This year would have been in September 12th would have been our 30th annual picnic and potluck at Berg Park. So we're kind of sad that we missed it this year, but hopefully next year we'll go ahead and do it. And just a shout out to everybody in the city of Richmond who is working as hard as they are to keep the city going and keep us all safe and sound, and to the police for all the work they do, and the fire department. I miss seeing everybody live. So hopefully I'll see you all soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, Jan. We miss you too. And maybe we can drop some emojis and some hugs in the chat, because I just look at all of you all in your faces and I want to hug. So thank you so much for that awesome shout out. Really appreciate it. We're down to our last shout out. I'm going to give it to Elaine to take it away, but don't leave, because we have one more activity that's going to be fun, and it's a surprise for all the neighborhoods, or some neighborhoods want to complete. But take it away, Elaine. It's your turn.
All right. Hi, I'm Elaine. I'm from the Country Club Vista neighborhood in the Hilltop district, but I also want to give a huge shout out to all the neighborhood watch block captains in the Richmond Annex. I grew up in the Richmond Annex, and I know they're very active out there. I see their posts on Nextdoor. So shout out to the Richmond Annex neighborhood watch groups. Now, also, because I'm from the Hilltop district, I had to give a huge shout out to Cesar Cepeda, who is the president of our Hilltop District Neighborhood Council. He has done so much for our area. It is improving it and making it so beautiful. So huge shout out to Caesar. And also we are part of the Beat 8, our Richmond Police Beat 8 group. So thank you so much to the Beat 8 officers, especially Captain YA when he was leading our division, and Officer Whitson, Officer Riley, Officer Zaydan, and even Reason, the crime prevention analyst. She's been so helpful of giving us crime stats. And during COVID-19, with us all sheltering in place and social distancing, our neighborhood has really actually gotten to know each other more, where we made sure that we, checked up on each other, whether it was by phone call, through emails, through text messages, even on Nextdoor, just to see if everyone was okay. And then with our neighborhood block captains, we have Joseph Narvaez, Paul Rogers, Nam Nguyen, and Adorio, and of course, Selma Valenzuela, who is the person who got me into doing neighborhood watch. So a huge shout out to all those block captains that we have in our neighborhood. And to add on to what Annette from Hilltop Green and what Jan from North and East mentioned about just being prepared for emergencies, the Community Emergency Response Team, which Rebecca Newbern has helped organize for our city. If you go to the website certrichmond.org, CERT-Richmond.org, that's one place where you can learn more about family preparedness or community preparedness in the event of a disaster. That's one thing that I know a lot of people, they want to know how to help out, especially with the recent fires, and how do you get your neighborhood ready? How do you prepare those go bags? Go to certrichmond.org to learn more. And right now we are doing self-paced disaster preparedness courses. So it's not going to get you certified to be a CERT team member, but it will at least get you started on there. And lastly, just remember to stay healthy, be safe, remember to sanitize, wash your hands, and of course, wear a mask.
I love it. I love it. I love your mask too. And that is a perfect segue. That ends our shout outs from our neighborhoods who are shouting out. If you didn't hear your neighborhood shouted out, it doesn't mean that your neighborhood is not important. We just had a couple of neighborhoods that we're shouting out and representing, but all of Richmond really deserves a shout out. So drop some emojis, drop some love in the chat, because we're shouting out the rich tonight. And in that spirit, we're going to do a contest. So I need 3 participants who would like to participate in this contest. And if you want to participate in the contest, please raise your hand. Mandy, if you could tell me who the first 3, and you should represent a neighborhood. So 3 neighborhoods, Crime Prevention Board, let's not participate. Let's 3 neighborhoods that are not on the board. Drop a hand. Joni, I see. Anybody else?
Oh. Can the panelists are just attendees?
Panelists, 2 neighborhoods. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, Mandy, can you tell me who the first 3 were?
So I saw Marina Brown, Suzanne, I think, and then I accidentally promoted them, I'm sorry. And then Joni Owen.
Okay, so Can we promote Joni and Marina?
Mm-hmm. And I've also promoted Suzanne Coffee. So Suzanne Coffee, Joni, and yeah.
Okay, so we have Suzanne, we have Joni, and we have Marina. So I would like everybody else at this point in time, mute yourself, turn your cameras off, with the exception of Suzanne, Joni, and Marina. And get yourself ready, because we're gonna play a scavenger hunt. But for this scavenger hunt, guess what you win? You win cash for your neighborhood.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so you have to find some things. And I have to tell you how the scavenger hunt came to be. The scavenger hunt came to be because we're trying to think of a way to be engaging and have fun with everybody, even though we all can't get together. And so I am a Prince fan, hence the purple. And I attended a Prince party and we had to do a scavenger hunt. So we're going to do a pandemic version of neighborhood scavenger hunt. So you are going to have to go and find some items and show me the items. And if you have these items, you will get a point. And at the end of it, whoever has the most items will get a cash prize for their neighborhood. How about that? So let's see if we have, Richard, everybody's camera on good. So do you have Marina on board? Can we see Marina? We will be ready to play our scavenger hunt, and I will give you the first item. And you have to find this item. I will give you a period of probably about a minute to find the item. And whoever comes back with the item first, will get a little bonus, but we're going to see who can find this item and has this item around. Okay? Are we ready? Panelists?
Yeah.
All right, so our first item is going to be a mask. So Marina, Joni, and Suzanne,
does it have
find a
what
mask?
type of mask? Because I have a mask. What type of a mask?
All right, so Shield Reed came in with a mask. What about the other neighborhoods? You guys have masks?
Here I am with my mask, Joni.
Joni has her mask, all right, representing. Suzanne?
North and East.
Oh. I'm here with my mask. Here it is.
Awesome. All three of you guys get that one, okay? So the next thing is on the list is, does anyone have something purple? It could be anything purple. Something purple.
Okay, I have something purple right here. It says, where God guides, he provides. And it's purple.
Shield Reed got a purple. Okay, but I see another purple. Who else got a purple?
This is Suzanne from Santa Fe with my purple parka.
Here's my
purple parka. Looking good, looking good. All right.
Joni from North and East with my purple blanket.
You guys are all tied. Wow. Look at this. I gotta make this harder, right? Okay. Are you guys ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next thing is, someone find me some copy paper or some kind of blank paper that you would use for copying. Copy paper.
Okay. Here you go. Here you go. I got it.
Copy paper. Oh, I see Shield Reed. I see. Is that Santa Fe that has copy paper?
Yeah, Santa Fe right here.
Oh, okay. What about? So anybody else have copy paper?
North and East, Joni.
This is getting hard, y'all. This is gonna be like a cliffhanger. Okay, I gotta find something harder. Okay, somebody bring me some pancake mix. Who has pancake?
Pancake mix.
Pancake mix.
Okay, pancake mix. Pancake mix. Pancake mix. Okay, here it is. Santa Fe. Pancake mix.
Santa Fe with the pancake mix.
Santa Fe is here in the house. Of course, home of the pancake breakfast.
Here's North and East. This is gluten-free.
Wait a minute, North and East has the gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Here's pancake. I came up with pancakes.
Okay, she had pancakes. So all y'all got, okay, so we're tied. We're tied.
Even better, they're already made.
We're tied. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. All right, so this is our last one. Let's see who can do this, and we'll have to figure this one out. Who has a hair product?
A what?
Hair product. It could be
okay. What kind of hair
something
product?
you use for your hair.
Okay, I got put. Here goes some right here. This is buttercream.
Okay, so she has a buttercream. I like that product. She's got buttercream. That's good.
This is Joni from North and East with my Indian amla.
She has amla oil. That is great. Amla
For
is
shiny,
great.
beautiful hair.
Give it up for North and East and Shields Reed
North
for
and East.
they're being
Yeah.
great. All right, Santa Fe, do we have any hair products?
Oh, we do. I've got some regular old shampoo.
Shampoo will do.
It's exotic malula oil for wavy and ringlet hair.
Really nice.
Yeah, or fresh from Sprouts.
So this is really, really tough because you guys are on it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to award, courtesy of RPOA who donated, we're going to award $100 for each neighborhood council. Give it up for our 3 contestants. And you can use that to print newsletters. You can use it for whatever you want to do. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Yay, thank you.
Michelle.
Thank you guys.
Michelle. You guys are great.
$100.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have come to the end of our National Night Out. So I'll ask everybody at this point in time, if you could please, we're going to do a moment of silence in a minute. And so you could please mute yourself. But I just want to thank everyone. I want to first of all thank Mandy, who has been awesome in the chat, working behind the scenes, helping to organize. Mandy is the hostess with the mostest. Mandy, if you can come on so we can give you your shout out.
Hey guys.
Thank you. And she's newly married, so give her congratulations. Woohoo! She is the best, and we could not do it without her. We really appreciate everything that Mandy does. We also appreciate the wonderful work of the Crime Prevention Executive Board that you saw earlier. They really thought about this. They really tried to make it fun for everybody. We know that this is not the way we normally get together, but they've been awesome. I want to thank, everybody who was on program. Thank you, Andrea, and thank you, Steve Seskin, for that beautiful song. We just need everybody to learn how to sing that song, as far as I'm concerned. It's a beautiful song, and it was really wonderful. Thank you to all the neighborhoods who participated. Thank you to, our chief. Thank you to our fire chief, our command staff, everybody who was on board. This was really wonderful and very special. And so I am going to actually, at this point in time, turn it back over to our chief. But before I do, I just want to remind everybody is that please, let's try to stay in touch with each other during the pandemic. Please try to encourage people to utilize the technology where they can. Let's help each other. If there's something you don't know how to do, you saw a bunch of different people have different ideas about how to engage. It's important for us to lean on each other right now and help each other out right now, because these are tough times. And, we've been through tough times before, and there's that old saying, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And we know that Richmond is one of the most beautiful cities as we could ever imagine, as AJ pointed out, but it's also a tough city because the people here are resilient. And it's just an honor to be able to work with all of you and to be with all of you and to consider all of you part of our Richmond family. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you for joining us. Hopefully by next year, we'll be able to be in person again. So we'll be able to be out and about and greeting one another. But until then, please continue to stay safe. And I'm going to turn it over to Chief French to give us some closing words. And also we will have a moment of silence for Sergeant Thomas.
Thank you, Michelle. And Michelle has basically said it all, and everybody else, all the comments today. We're all in this together. I thank you all for joining and being willing to be a part of community. And so I just want to thank you. I'll give Chief Shepard an opportunity also.
Well, as Chief French indicated, Michelle's pretty much said it all, but I just really want to restate, thank you so very much for allowing us into your homes, allowing us to connect. you know, even though we're doing it virtually, I think I feel the energy. The song was fantastic. I listened to every word, and I identified with what Steve had to say. And so really just thank you so very much. I hope we continue to be a very strong community. I know we will. Richmond is powerful. Richmond has seen tougher things and gotten through it, and we'll get through this and come through even better. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
And just to close it out again, Michelle and Mandy, thank you again for all of your help and work, hard work to put this together, as well as KCRT and all the neighborhoods. So thank you all.
Thank you. And we will close it out with a moment of silence that we will have for Sergeant Thomas, who lost his life to COVID-19. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for participating in National Night Out 2020. Everybody can feel free to unmute themselves and we can say goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Great job.
Shine a light on connection, shine a light, because we're connected.
Yeah. Thank you. So nice.
Thank you again.
Don't forget to vote.
Yes.
Vote.
Thank you.
Vote.
Yes, please don't forget to vote.
Please
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Go, Suzanne.
And we will
Hey.
give the winners your stuff. So make sure you connect with us and you get your gift certificate.
Sanitize.
Thank you for those hand sanitizers.
What if we showed up for each other, took that chance, showed a little love for one another, just because we can. Stop weighing and measuring everything. Stop wondering what's in it for me. What if we were big